who have had the run of the fixture. Things very different now, though, with the strength of women's rugby in Fiji. Catherine Ritchie is our referee. So what is next for Fiji? After the bronze medal over the summer, they have never won a medal of any kind on the HSBC World Rugby 7 Series. I'm sure there are aspirations from back home for that to change. Aspirations for the players on the pitch as well.
Advantage over!
And here they go, running the ball through the hands, and that's on to Favuru. Lavenia Favuru in the 7 shirt for Fiji.
So after that initial handling error from Canada, they've managed to weather the storm and get the ball back. The most important thing. So the one thing you want to do against Fiji is just hold on to the ball. The tiniest bit of possession Fiji get, they will attack from everywhere. So it's almost a case of taking the pace off the ball, taking the pace off the game, but holding on to it and making sure you get it back in the contact area.
Olivia Apps with her hands on the ball, the 22-year-old, but one of the more experienced heads in his very young, as you said, Phil, Canadian side. Fiji do them at the scrum there and play away, and already running it through the hands and looking like a fluid white and black machine. Canada catch up with them. Put a good press on in defence too. Brianne Nicholas, the Canadian captain, just missing her player there, so Fiji just calmly taking it to the line and then trying to look for ways to dice through. Taken by Nakothi. Good defence from Canada up until that point. The defence was breached and Riapi Ulunisau goes under the stick. Second try of the tournament for Ulunisau. She is emerging as one of the stars in women's sevens.
And what a classic try there from Fiji. Constant offloading play. They swung back from the centre of the field to attack down the blind side. They did shorten up the defence, didn't come off, but they kept the ball alive. And that is what Fiji are so good at doing. Sometimes you feel like when they have a mistake or an error, it actually is working to their advantage. They love this kind of scramble, off-the-cuff play. Really good start from Fiji.
Riapi Ulunisau picks up where she left off with the Olympics in those 8 tries which she scored, and left her as the top point scorer, the top try scorer. And guess what? It was her debut international tournament for Fiji. How about that? And the Olympic Games. It doesn't become more of a breakout star than that.
Turnover is good.
And Fiji go again right from kickoff. Canada trying to race back, but Donu is going to go in for her second of the weekend as well. It's a Fiji rampage at the start against Canada.
It is a Fiji rampage, and what intelligence there by number 4, Donu, to be able to expose that gap in the Canadian defence. Canada are really looking like a rusty, naive team right now. You just see there, she gets the pinch on the ball. It's perfectly legal. The players there for Canada, they're over the body of the player, but they're not over the ball, and that is key. You've got to protect the ball.
So Fiji 12 points to 0 against Canada, but Canada on the attack here and linking together nicely with Pam Buisa. And it's on to Emma Chown. Olivia Apps has to decide whether to take on Fiji all by herself, and she does so, but support comes in the end. Canada going through the hands and doing it nicely. Lavale, now Apps gets the ball along the line. This could be try time for Canada if the fen can be placed, and Olivia De Couvre gets the score.
Great to see Canada getting the ball to the width there to Olivia Ducuva. You could see them initially trying to go for that offloading game. It's really not the way to try and break down Fiji. Fiji love soaking up an offload game. Their scramble defense is really good. And as we saw in the early exchanges there, Canada were making one break, another break, and Fiji just absorbed it. The way to get around Fiji is to spread the width. And that's exactly what they did here. Question is now, will they recognise that that is the way and play like that? Because if they try and go short side again, try and go for the carries, Fiji will absorb it up.
Conversion is good from Brianne Nicholas. Those new faces in this Canadian squad. From a World Series perspective, because of course we saw them in action in the Fast Four competition in Canada. That's where they all cut their teeth, and now it's the big leagues and Dubai.
Good bit of defensive pressure there from Canada, just getting that ball back, just closing out the space for the Fijiana.
Yeah, I need a clear hook, it can't just roll back. Thank you. Is there? Come up. Thank you. Crouch.
You have to remember, Canada are out some of their big hitters. Ghislaine Chandri, gosh, didn't she light up the World Series? Has just retired, and you can see already Canada are missing her.
Yeah, how do you replace someone like Ghislaine Landry? It's so hard, but there's 7 on the field trying to pull together to make some problems here for Fiji. And the foot race is on. Asia Hogan Rochester hits the line.
Hits the line, and we just asked the question, didn't we? Will Canada recognise that the way to beat Fiji is to get around them? And yes, they are certainly picking that up right now. Great to see them put the ball through the hands. Get it out to the wing, get it out to the speed. Lovely little cut back there from Hogan Rochester.
And the kick to level things up. This is pressure on Brianne Nicholas. But just going off cue. So Fiji still with the lead, 14 points to 12. Nicholas with a good restart.
Backwards!
Fiji get it back. 10 seconds to play to half-time. It was all Fiji to begin with. Canada striking back with 2 splendid scores. Fiji winding things up. They sometimes build slowly, and that's when they're almost at the most dangerous, when you think you're containing them.
Lead, backwards!
Hogan Rochester with a good tackle, and Fiji only making negative yards.
10, offside.
But as ever, crucially, keeping the ball.
And of course, classic Fiji, tap and go.
Back to the short side. Perfectly lofted over the top. Enough space to work with. Brianne Nicholas has 2 bites at the tackle and gets a play on the second go. It was Sisanyeli Donu. Big pass over from Nakothi. Doesn't matter if it's too slow because Fiji always have a plan. And it's to cause chaos once you're in the backfield, and Canada simply running out of options, simply running out of the ability to see where attacks come from. And Fiji are just going to stroll in.
Gosh, Fiji just make it all look so casual, don't they? Talk about a pirouette step. I don't think there's an actual technical term for it, but number 1, Nagase, just pirouetted in between 2 tacklers. Absolutely fantastic. Getting the offload away. Here we see it. Initial fend there, ball in one hand, completely sold the contact and skipped through.
Seven-pointer it is. Fiji just get a little bit of control back in the tie. 21 points to 12. They lead Canada at half-time. for Fiji. Taking some instruction at half-time, and what would you hazard a guess, Phil? What would you think? What would you be wanting to say to Fiji for the second half?
More of the same, because they're really causing lots of trouble. You know, we saw it a little bit earlier on. The way that they line up is so unstructured. Classically, if you were to zoom out of the sevens pitch, if you see one player going up the wing, there'll be two players with them, and then the other three will spread themselves at a good distance and a good depth across the field. And it's easy to line up in defence. Fiji never do that. No matter who's taking the ball, the players almost stand laterally. But that is the change of pace, and that is a team that want to just react to what's in front of them. There's no structured play, there's no structured calls. It is very simply back your one-on-one skills, and the rest of the team will react from you. That's what makes them so threatening. They're so hard to read.
From a Canadian perspective, they're on their fourth. Here we go, second half. Canada go deep. Easy possession for Fiji. That's a lovely link up, and it's Olonisau again. Foot in touch. Oh, it's a heartbreaker.
That really is. I must be honest, from my position up here in the commentary booth, I thought she was just skimmed through, but in fairness, the linesperson was right on the edge. Oh, just a clip of the heel.
Touch is called. Your line out.
And that's why it's always worth, as a defender, diving at the feet of the attacker just in case you can influence them by just half an inch.
Alyssa Allery.
Yes, come on.
35-year-old.
No. Okay.
One of the very experienced heads in the team is just
You
not
stop
happy
shouting.
with how that
That's not
lineup
helping
is
anything.
set.
You don't delay putting the ball in, okay?
And neither is Catherine Ritchie.
Yes.
Allery, a player who's in action for the 15 side just last weekend as Decouvre makes good yards off the back of that line. Allery at scrum half, and now the break is made. It's from the captain. Brianne Nicholas is going to hair in under the sticks for Canada. Super score.
Really good reaction there from Canada early into the second half. They've made the most of their possession, which is absolutely crucial. You have to say, if Fiji are ever slightly weak, it's going to be in their set-piece plays, playing off line out, defending a structured game, and that was certainly a set-piece move there. Really good running lines from Brianne Nicholas.
Conversion of her own try is good. Full 7.
Thank you.
2 points in it. And for all we've eulogised about Fiji in this game, Phil, Canada hanging on to them. And maybe even more than that. Well weighted kickoff. It doesn't get better than that. The boomerang kickoff. Right back in Canadian hands. And there's space in behind, as spotted by Alyssa Allery.
Yeah, really good spot there. She could see that the winger and sweeper had got involved in place. There was space there. It just came off the outside of her boot.
Fiji, I will put
She also knew she had the penalty advantage, so it was worth going for it. Or at least she'll say she knew she had the penalty advantage.
No, advantage was called over when you kicked. It's a Fiji ball. Yeah?
Well, so much experience in those boots of the number 11, Alyssa Allery.
Time on.
Rongitha.
Guys, you can't keep her lifted in the air. You've got to bring her down straight away.
So Catherine
Just a
Ritchie,
free kick.
it's a free kick to Canada.
Yeah.
Nicholas, a lot of ball for Canada at the moment. Decouvre, the decoy with her power, just gives it before contact.
Tackler's got to roll.
Allery goes, wants to up the pace again. Nicholas. Now it goes out to Allery again. Those two combining fantastically. The swerve inside and out. Emma Chown. card coming here.
Deliberate. 9.
So that's the deliberate knock-on, so interference with play. That is one thing, unfortunately, Fiji have got a bit of a record for, is ill discipline, making little decisions like that.
Nicholas has a structured backline to feed the ball to Alarion, to de Couvre, but those little connections just off-key.
Yeah, you could see what the Canadians were trying to do, especially out there. Alari, she was so fixated on trying to fix the Fijian player with her eyes. She just didn't look at where she was passing the ball.
Guys, this is going to be your mark.
That's a real wasted opportunity there for Canada.
So this is what's so good about Fiji. 2 players entering the fray at this point, a tense point. They're both on debut tournaments, Andivani Buleki and Laisana Likutheva. Why not throw them into the high-pressure situation? You learn by doing that.
Bind. Set.
And burst pipes, or it can make diamonds, as we like to say in sevens.
Stay in. Early unbind. No. Back
Not
of the
quite
scrum.
able to get
Canada,
away.
you cannot leave early.
Such a shame, you've got to take it from the mark.
Yeah.
Pass was a little behind from Andivani Buleki.
No, step.
Fiji's so flat. So they have to find space by going sideways. Now this is a one-on-one. De Couvre has been identified by Davewa. Down the gunnels. De Couvre gets back. What a tackle. Davewa, for moments there, looked to be in the clear. Canada scrambling well. And even better than well, they've turned it back on their side.
Oh, what a defensive effort from Canada, and specifically number 1, De Couvre. What a desperate last-ditch tackle. Full arms stretched. Just managed to get to the back of the Fijian player. Palms off one. She'd be forgiven for thinking that she was in and dry, but fair play to come from that palm off. Keep your composure and get the tackle.
Rene Gonzalez. There's a penalty on the floor.
Come round the side. Side entry.
Offside from Fiji. So many penalties, and a lot of them towards Canada. Into the Fijian half they go. De Couvre, now with the ball in her hands, switches well to Alyssa Alari, who stretches her legs. This will be it for Canada. The go-ahead score. Alyssa Alari, the 35-year-old, races clear from 15s to 7s, and she's scoring again.
And she's feeling it as well, isn't she? There aren't many times that you can manipulate the Fijian defence like that and open them up so brutally through the centre field. But she really does. Fantastically timed, perfectly sold, lovely running angle, but well timed there by Alari, just coming onto the ball at the right moment, not leaving the Fijian defence any chance to read and see her coming.
What a conversion too. 26 points to 21 now, Fiji. So 50 seconds to play. Now Fiji are quite calm, chasing a match as well, so doubt their mentality will change. It'll be the usual show, and it's usually magical. Offload from Andivani Buleki. Just looped over, and space here. Fiji in the clear. Fiji racing away. Oh, the wonders in white shirts have done it again. 26 all.
Well, they only had 50 seconds to retaliate, but trust me, when it comes to Fijiana, 50 seconds is a lifetime. Gosh, we've got a game on here, haven't we?
This for the win. Olunisau turns away before it's over. She knew. Fiji get it at the death against Canada. What a game.
Absolutely, what a game. We saw the best of Fijianas there. And like I say, for Canada, that wasn't their best show, but it was certainly a really good spirited effort for them to come back from those early tries in the first half but some good learning from them there.
Final score, Fiji 28, Canada 26. So Fiji's next match is against Russia. We saw how they pushed Great Britain a little bit earlier on today. That actually in itself will be an interesting one, Phil.
Yeah, it really will, and especially because Russia love to play to the edge.